Hey there, can I ask you something? How many times have you watched a shiny DeFi project collapse and take people's money with it? I've seen too many, and honestly it drives me crazy. That's exactly why Veritas Vault exists. We're the truthful, transparent alternative. Every contract is open, audited, and every treasury move is right there on chain for you to see. Now, here's the best part. Your staking rewards come from real revenue, DEX fees, lending interest, and a professionally managed treasury, not empty token inflation. No KYC, no borders. If you've got a crypto wallet, you're in. We turbocharge your VVA staking earnings on average 0.44% 3 times a day, morning, noon, and night, automatically compounding every 8 hours. And when you share your invite link, you unlock up to 12 levels of referral income, plus weekly and monthly lottery jackpots and Elite Diamond League bonuses for building at least 3. Powerhouse teams want deeper upside. Grab our USDT or DAI reserve or liquidity bonds and bank discounted VVA tokens up to 10% off of DEX market price while you strengthen protocol liquidity. And because every stakeholder votes in our DAO, your stake literally equals your say in how the vault evolves. So here's my ask. Are you ready to ditch the shady projects and join a community that puts transparency, real revenue, and your financial freedom? First, let's get you into Veritas Vault today.
That we can do that because, united we stand, divided we fall. And we want to unite for the better cause and the better good for everything that we do and what we believe in. So with that, I just recently met Nick, and, we've been corresponding back and forth, and I will say one more thing about Nick. There are many programs that are DeFi programs or, all these RI programs that are out there. And guys, you don't know who the owners are. You don't know who's behind the scenes. You have no idea. A lot of them are just actors for hire. A lot of them are just a picture saying, this is our CEO, which really it isn't, right? Nick is here in flesh and blood right here with us today. He wouldn't have to do that. He really doesn't have to do that, right? So, but he is here and he wants to address the questions. He wants to address the issues. So without further ado, Nick, our lead development founder of Veritas Vault, I turn over the mic and the floor to you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Steve. I really appreciate that, particularly the prayer part, because it's been hairy. I've got my whole life. This is my baby. And you're right, I don't have to show myself, but a lot of people wanted me to, and it's exposed me to, the emails and some complaints here and there, but we can take it. We can take it, guys. And as a matter of fact, this is literally our 7th day. Okay. The token launched at 38 cents. It's almost hitting $1 right now. It's what, at 94? Yeah, almost 95 cents. And that's a good launch. And I'm going to show you some charts and address some of the issues that people have brought up about some of these scanners that go out there and rate, different programs. But to start off with, I'm extraordinarily thankful, all right, that we've been as far as we've gotten since Tuesday. And as you all know, we had some challenges early on. The interest has been phenomenal. I mean, we've got 768 stakeholders right now, all right, which is huge, huge. I mean, we started out with 200, just a short 7 days ago. And granted, the issues with the programming and the logic and the integration with mainnet and so on and so forth have been challenging. But I assure you guys, since Thursday, when they really came to the forefront of my attention, I mean, I have really skipped and jumped for you guys, okay, and shelling out money and, making sure everybody's on board and, the good news, many of you may not know this, but early on I told you that we had a company called Cybernic that is our audit company. And that team, as a matter of fact, today, I think I'm going to have them write up a little resume for you because I don't really recall some of the huge, 500, Fortune 500 companies that these guys have worked for and been project managers for in the U.S. But we have an enormous team, okay, that have faith in the project. I have personally faith and friendship in them. This weekend, from Friday, which was actually a holiday where they live, they've been going around the clock just to get us to where we are today. So from the early reports, a lot of these issues that I've been getting emails about regarding, staking, buying token, seeing their rewards, seeing the proper content on the site have been resolved, which I'm super grateful for. And in about, probably about 3 hours, I've got to catch up with them again to go over some of the other issues, right? That aren't really like huge issues, but regarding seeing your 8-hour rewards and making some tweaks to the site. I know a lot of people have brought up the fact that they want to be able to sell from the site instead of having to go to PancakeSwap. So believe me, this is top of my radar, and you guys are precious to me. And I especially want to say that the people that did send in emails, I did see them. Okay. Usually what I'll do is between everything else, I'll click it and I'll kind of click through and say, okay, what's this issue? What's that issue? Okay, this is on this device, so on and so forth. But I might not have the opportunity or the time on such a tight schedule to actually get there and, address it individually. Not because I don't want to, because again, it's been quite an inundation. But you guys mean the world to me. We're in this together. We may not know each other, but we're connected through the project. And that was the whole reason, for the name, if I haven't mentioned this previously, is VERITAS means truth. Okay. The previous projects that I thoroughly analyzed for like a couple months before I even thought about putting hand to code, weren't doing that. I mean, I'm not being critical, but you don't know who they are. The interfaces, weren't user friendly. There was no like unified like front on communicating the idea, supporting the idea, or anything like that. But yet and still, they've, they're at 2 point something billion market cap. They got 300 million in the bank. They're trading 30, 40 million sometimes per day. So we will get there, guys. Okay. All I'm asking for is your patience. Like I said, I do everything, if not directly, through my remarkable team. Okay, I'm very close friends of over 20 years who are experts in this particular unique field. Things have been great, and we do have the super advantage of most of you on here are like very seasoned, very skilled, very successful network marketers, and that is huge. I mean, right now, like I said, we jumped about 550 people in 7 days, and all indications I'm getting from the field are that we can get to 1,000 per day plus, and that's really what we want to do. But we've got to do it stable, right? So I know this might sound passe, but I am committed, right? And I know that word is overused, but I'm working 16-hour days for you guys, and plus, when I need be. But even though as time goes on, you'll get to know me better. You'll get to know my spirit and who I am, and also to deliver, okay, on the promises of the project. Complete transparency, a real DAO where shortly you guys will be able to vote on some of the bigger, more advanced options that we're doing with no cost to you, just by staking the token. Screenshots and things like that you can get to me are super helpful, So if you're on an Apple device or a mobile device or anything like that, definitely get that to me, because I can only test so many devices personally. So any help there, like I said, it's huge, huge. And yeah, so I know there's probably some questions out there. For some of you, I did respond via email yesterday. Where we're at looks, like I said, really good. And, the comments specifically, I've copied over into like a to-do list for today. So now that we've got the new project double checked, and one of the advantages here is that having an actual audit company with very extremely seasoned and professional programmers picking up the slack from last week, we caught some things that aren't even visible to you that could be mission critical. So I'm very proud of their work. Today we've got a pretty hardcore meeting of the most urgent issues I want to address, some of the cosmetic issues that we're going to address. And then the further plan is to get all of the contracts fully audited again, fully integrated and working, like a well-oiled machine. So as Dr. Steve mentioned, that process is underway, and just be patient. You're not losing money. Okay, don't look at it like that. You are definitely not losing money right now. But yeah, this isn't financial advice, but guys, the future looks so bright. It's I get goosebumps sometimes, even through the pressure and some of the pain, but we're gonna be fine. So I think what I'm going to start out with, guys, is let me share my screen if I have ability to do that, Doctor.
You do. Yeah. Yeah, your calls.
All right, let me do my whole window. Do it like that. Just make this full screen for you guys. So here's the site dashboard. Everybody's familiar with that. So here's what I'm saying.
Yeah, Nick,
Can
we're
you
not
see it?
seeing. No.
Oh, okay, my bad.
All right, it's coming up
Okay.
now. Okay, now we can see it.
All right, wonderful. Okay, so here's your dashboard. As long as you're connected to your wallet, it auto brings you here. Again, the data points. I mean, sometimes, and I want to bring the item up because I know how huge this is for you. In normal circumstances, your average user is not going to be aware of this, but I know it's important to you. I'm signed into the DAO position, which is obviously at the top of the unit level. And this is the wallet address, but it's showing me as the sponsor, right? Which when we were creating it was actually the default, okay? So I'm not sure this is, matter of fact, I know this isn't working the way it should, but if you see this wallet address, it doesn't mean necessarily that the DAO is the sponsor. It's as a placeholder. So I've got to connect that data point. So please, nobody worry about that. And if there were something where someone, joined and staked and they didn't use your link right, we can, as we move forward, we can get more minute and specific on your specific issues, which we're open to. Okay. And there's ways that you can move them around. I mean, not move them physically, but have them set up another wallet and move their staking over. So very little pain point, even if there is a mistake. So don't worry about this. That's on the list for today. But, basically it shows you staking, everything's appearing right. These are all the transactions associated, down the unit level for my specific position, which is huge. So you kind of know, where your rewards are coming from. Happy about that. I've already tested out buys, and the feedback I've gotten in the last 12 hours is that this is good. So you can simply come here, click max, auto calculates, and then swap tokens. And sometimes when you're so into something, you neglect the obvious, right? So the further plan was to be able to click this and have it reverse so that you could sell VBA to DAI, which I know a lot of you want to do. But we'll have that operational as soon as possible, like maybe in a day or two, depending on the depth of where the programming is and things like that. But I don't imagine that to be difficult. Okay, so that's coming very soon. Let's see, stake. Okay. So again, content showing. Now, I know a lot of you have brought up the fact that this claim button is not working for you. If you have staked within the last, 24 hours or under, it won't work for you. But after 24 hours, it should. And, I personally haven't had a problem. I know some people have, and that's why I stress if there's a device issue to, at least notify me of what device you're on, because there might be some things that just aren't popping through right for you. But this is working, and just anybody that's on this Zoom call, if you have a balance, right, particularly for the founders, right, which has been 7 days, okay, since we inputted it, there should be no issue here. Now, I'm not saying, and in this business, it's hard. People are like, oh, it's working for me. Why isn't it working for you? I'm not taking that stance with you. But if you have a balance here that's over 24 hours and you are clicking claim and it is not moving from this line to this line, all right, drop me a really short note with your wallet address and the device you're on. You don't have to go through specifics, but let me know because I want to move forward from this, and I really genuinely understand how anxious you are to get those founders tokens, earning for you. So that's one issue I want to point out. And And also the unstaking as well. So if you do have a balance here and you wish to switch from the stake VBA over to the actual VBA that you can then, cash out or, restake or transfer to another person that might have an issue with buying, that's available, and that should be working like a charm for you. Okay, so moving on here with the bonds. I've tested this many times on many accounts. So right now we're only offering the DAI VBA pair until we can get the treasury configured for USDT, which is just for convenience, right? I said that the discounts are the same, so, but those are off for the moment. And as like I said, it's working for me. So if you try to do a bond today, you don't have to buy a big bond, with just 500, maybe a little over 500 or more. And you do run into an issue with that working or not working, just let me know. And if it is working, like I said, drop me a line and say, it's finally working for me. And again, we have some cleanup. This is just a path to a graphic, so no big deal there, but that'll get squared today for sure. And for my active bonds, I do have claimable amounts, right? So we know it's releasing every 24 hours. So if you buy a 5-day bond, 20% the first 24 hours, 20% the next 24 hours, so on and so forth. So that I tested that is working. Referral rewards, we do have some work to do on this page here that I won't really get into, but that's all coming. And also your genealogy view. I was kind of, the view that we have is not the view that I want. I've been in this business for 26 years, right? And most of the guys on this team have known me for 20 of those. I mean, they were actually the ones that kind of brought me into this industry. And I can do some beautiful things with your genealogy view, okay? So the plan is to have it where it's clickable and you can actually see all the wallet addresses, not just a bunch of wallet addresses listed in line. That's something huge, but that's also something kind of cosmetic. So against everything else, that'll be coming soon, and it'll be it'll be amazing, okay? And when I first created it, and then when I started sharing it, right, with my friends and the people I trust, they were so excited that we got off to a kickstart in July. So the programming length, and I financed that all myself, right? But we went so fast, and then with the founders, right? So what you're seeing here is genuinely an improved version of the project that we are somewhat modeled after. But now we get into the good stuff. Now we can, make things look better, operate better comprehension, because I know people when they come here, even if they have a stake balance from their founders, it says staked. So they think that means they're staked. So the 24-hour thing is huge. Okay. And like I said, if you guys can dig into that, that'd be awesome. So these are some of the basics with the site. I don't want to do a full demo here at the moment because I've got that video from Saturday. But just believe me, guys, we will get there ASAP. Okay. Moving on, I wanted to share this, which we don't talk about a lot, but I want to today.
Tired of the hype, scams, and protocols that vanish overnight? That's exactly why VERITAS Vault exists, to give you a transparent, secure, and rewarding path to real financial growth. Here's what sets VERITAS Vault apart. 100% transparency. Every smart contract is open and audited. Every treasury move is visible on-chain. No smoke, no mirrors, just full visibility and trust. Real rewards. Staking rewards backed by actual protocol revenue, DEX fees, lending interest, and a professionally managed treasury, not worthless token inflation. True accessibility. No KYC, no borders, just you, your wallet, and automatic compounding every 8 hours, turning your stake into a growth machine. But here's where it gets exciting. When you share your invite link, you unlock up to 12 levels of referral rewards. Your network becomes your net worth. Build strong teams and you can enter the Diamond League for even bigger bonuses. Plus, every staker is automatically entered into our weekly and monthly jackpot draws from on-chain lottery pools. And it doesn't stop there. With reserve and liquidity bonds, you can buy discounted VVA tokens while helping strengthen our ecosystem. A win-win. Best part? Your stake equals your say. Through our DAO governance, You help decide how funds are used, what features we build, and where we go next. This is your platform. So ask yourself, are you ready to stop watching and start building real wealth? Veritas Vault isn't just a DeFi platform. It's your chance to lead the financial revolution. Ready to join us and change your financial trajectory?
And a huge thanks for your interest and participation in Veritas Vault. Now, this is your dashboard here. All right, once you've connected your wallet, which I've already done, everything you need is here, right? We've built it very simple, powerful, and transparent. And with our app, okay, and the help of our very supportive community, you'll absolutely have everything you need to succeed. So let's go ahead and jump in. So as I mentioned, it's already connected to a testing wallet here. Now this is a live environment, okay? So we'll begin by reviewing our current stakeholders, total market cap, can be visible anytime, 24 hours a day, treasury balance, and on this side, you see your staked VVA amount. Like I said, this is a live account for the DAO primarily. I actually have already staked some bonds, and they've had time to vest and mature, so we'll be claiming that. And then any lottery jackpot wins will appear here, okay, if you've won. So you don't always have to go back and check here. And this is actually accounting of all of the level, rewards that I've received to date, okay. So first off, I've already connected this to Metamask, and I have $761 to play with. I have a little bit of BNB, which you all should as well, to cover your gas fees. And I have 166 VBA already banked in the wallet. All right, the first thing that I want to show you is how to buy VBA. So as I mentioned, I have 166 available. So I'll go to the Buy VBA page. Right here, we made it very convenient, so you don't have to go to PancakeSwap. If you're not familiar with DEXs, that's totally fine. Just log into your dashboard, and here I can click Max, and then my entire DAI balance will actually convert into 1,043 and change of VBA token. So I want to leave a little bit for bonds, because we're going to demo that as well. So let's just say right now let's just make this a 1. So we'll go ahead and buy 159, or basically $160 worth of DAI, which will give me 220 VBA tokens. Now, once I click the swap, there's a couple of things. Just please follow my mouse, and I'll highlight some things for you to make note of as I go through this. So let's begin. Swap. Just checking my balance. Approving the tokens. And this opens up my Metamask pop-up. The first request is going to be a spending cap request, only for the amount of what you've entered. It's not over anything that you've already decided upon. So I click confirm, and it's submitted to the blockchain now. So I'll close the extension, and this is the process where it actually sends it to swap on PancakeSwap for you automatically, and we get another pop-up here that is the actual transaction request for your approval, and it shows you how much you're spending and how much you'll receive. Let's click confirm, and that was quick. Close the extension, and then you want to look up in the top right-hand corner. So the transaction has been set, and it says swap successful. And if you need to hover over this, you can do that to stop the timer, and then the notice disappears. So what we'll do next is we'll return to our wallet, and you'll see that my VBA balance has gone from 166 to 375, just that instant. And my DAI balance has decreased by the amount that's left over from what I decided to buy with. So I hope this is really clear for you. The process, as you see, is very simple and very fast. So let's move forward to stake. Okay, so now that I've got my VBA, I would come here. I can review the current stats of our organization, all of the recent transactions, and you can stake or you can unstake VBA. Okay, all you have to do is click one of these two buttons. So we're gonna, right now, I already have a 24-hour holding balance of 26,632 staked VBA. Now, one of the biggest questions I get is like, how do I move from the holding balance to my currently staked amount? Okay, which is very important, because until you do this, until you claim after your 24-hour hold, you don't actually start to earn these rebase rewards. So to make things easy, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to claim this first, and then you'll see here, because I haven't done that yet. Okay, I think I've been holding these since we launched. Okay, so we're claiming the rewards now. Here's my transaction request as always. So all of my tokens, I'm going to click confirm. And now the transaction is complete. Very easy. So I close it. Let this work through its process of trying not to refresh or do anything. And that ding that you hear is actually my pop-up from my Metamask saying that the transaction's been confirmed. So let's just sit here for a moment and wait to go through its process. And there we go. Rewards claimed successfully. And again, you don't want to click on anything, tap or get, impatient. So you'll notice, before your live eyes, that balance went from the 24-hour holding balance to currently staked amount. And this timer tells you when the next rebase rewards will be, distributed. So basically in 5 hours, you can come back and you would come here and, check your balance, and see where you're at. But to come back to for a brand new person who wasn't already involved, this is how many BVA I have. And remember, here on Metamask, it shows I have 375. So it automatically says, okay, I have 375 BVA available. So I can click max here to stake that entire amount, or I can keep some to the side. Maybe let's go ahead just to keep the numbers simple. Let's go ahead and stake 300 BVA. Once you stake it, that token goes from BVA to SBVA, okay? And also that amount you'll see in your 24-hour holding balance once this is completed. So I'm going to click stake for the 300, leaving myself 75. And again, just let it work through automatically for you. Just give it a little bit of time. And this process, as you notice, is a little bit longer than the staking, but you always get there. So here's our spinning cap request, again for 300. I click confirm. That process is fast. Click close extension. Again, that ding means that I have confirmed that on the blockchain with 20 confirmations, by the way. And here we go. Now we're looking at the transaction. Okay, so let's click confirm. And then we'll close that. So we know that it's confirmed on the blockchain, which feeds back to the site, and it says token staked successfully. So I'll let that end. Okay, so there we are. So if you don't see this immediately, don't worry about that. What I would do is I would just simply refresh this. Oh, there it is. There it is. Okay. Did it get refreshed too? Okay. All right. If for some reason that kind of hangs up for you, just let it wait a little bit. Okay, and it'll be fine. Let me do this again. It takes a little while to load, guys and gals. But yeah, so it comes there. And again, don't let that worry you. We're going to work on optimizing the site and everything else. But there's a lot of endpoints we have to connect to for all this data. And I think today and moving forward, you'll see greater improvement there. But as you see, now I have 300 SBVA now staked for 24 hours. At the end of the 24 hours, and the reason I made it 24 hours to make it easy for you to remember. So just look at your watch and say, okay, 24 hours or after, I'm going to come back here and click claim. And again, my staking balance here is working for me. And then if I choose, I have 75 BVA to work with, in the future. I won't go into the lottery part of things too heavily right now, but if you stake over 100 BVA, then you get one ticket to the lottery for the weekly drawing. If you stake over 200 BVA, you're going to get one ticket for the weekly and then one ticket for the monthly. So a strategy would be to just stake a little bit every day and then let that compound. But talk to the person who invited you for their ideas on that strategy. Also, if you're not sure, how long you want to keep it, you can go ahead and I just did 300. So I can type in 300. You'll see here the next rebase percentage is 0.43. So as we always say, it's not exactly that amount, but it'll range up and down depending on our algorithm and the way the traffic's moving through the purchases and sales. So there's really nothing else to touch here, but let's just say 1 month. And we'll click calculate. If you want to compound 100 per day. Today is the 15th, so I hit calculate. And then instantly, you get a good idea of what your yield potential could be. All right. So we're looking here at about 151 for 31 days of staking the token, approximately, which is approximately a 50% yield, as we all can see. So that's essentially how the staking works.